Hello,
Hello.
Janet.
Hi, Vivica. Well, we're
And
back. We're back
yes, we're
live.
live. And I want to
So
say welcome
exciting.
to anybody who's watching us. Welcome to the Spiritual
Yes,
Reality Show.
where we're real and raw, and we try to share what our experiences are on our journey to ascension and higher consciousness, and just the challenges that are going on in our world, which how they affect us all. And it's been pretty incredible with all the astrological things going on in the world. I mean, we had the Lionsgate, which we got through in August, so we're at the end of August now. Then we got into the full moon. Right now we have something going on with the sun in Virgo, and
Hmm?
I'm going to talk about that today. Just a little bit about it, just a little info, which was I thought was pretty interesting to share with everybody. And but do we want to do our sacred space grounding?
Yes, please. I would love to do that today, Janet. So if you don't
Okay.
mind, we'll just do our or my favorite exercise, which
All
is
right.
closing our eyes in unity
Mm-hmm.
and just breathing in together on three. One, two, three. Breathe in. Hold your breath and release. Gonna do this two more times, and when you release, you're gonna let go of any tension and release. One more time where we let go of any tension and low vibrations. Breathing in and let go. And as you find yourself now breathing in your natural rhythm, please follow my voice and allow it to soothe you and to allow it to hold you and embrace you as you discover your path on the light path. Shifting your focus now down deep into Mother Earth's core. Allow her to hold you. Connect your roots with her and feel her essence, her purity, her energy. Fill now your grounding cords, and you breathe in her essence. As you breathe in, allowing her purity to come up through your legs, up through your thighs, all the way up into your heart. And as you let go, breathing out, you fill your heart, tending and igniting the passion for your life. And then I want you to move your attention up, way up, to your star, way up in the universe, allowing yourself just to be guided by your soul, knowing the path, knowing the road home. And as you connect with your star, you open yourself up to receive the highest vibration, love and light through your star. And you breathe that in and anchor that within your heart. Breathing in, anchoring that vibration within your heart. And feel that vibration spread with every breath you take, allowing now this vibration to move out into your auric field, embracing all of you, strengthening you, strengthening your soul's connection, allowing you now to be a bridge between Mother Earth and the universe. All your talents and gifts flowing naturally throughout your physical body. And you become aware that you are something more than just what you experience here and now, that you are part of a greater plan. And as you now, Janet, Feel your heart. I'm going to ask you today, what is your intention for this session?
Well, my intention is to bring through, what the topic that we're saying is what is truth. And I really, I feel like we just need to do a very deep delve into that. And I'm really excited to have all our guides to help us along this path today and to help us really connect with this idea of truth. So I'm really open and asking for their guidance today as we talk about this idea of truth.
Thank you.
So thank you.
And I will put my intention out that we all come together in unity, that we have a space, a sacred space, where our truth together will allow us to ascend and to open ourselves up to the golden age. And with that, we take another breath in and open our eyes and be here with us now. And this,
Thank you. Wow. Beautiful.
thank you.
Ooh, I always feel like I was way out there every time we do that.
You're
It
already
takes
on
me a
your
minute
way,
to come back. I
ascending.
was out there. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So
Oh.
you know what I wanted to do before we get into the conversation? I just want to do the golden age affirmations. Is that okay?
Oh, I would love for you to do that. That's perfect.
Because I didn't do mine this morning yet. And I'm like, oh no, I have to start every day with this. And, I'm trying to make it like automatic. Not really. We're supposed to manually work our reality, but I want to put this into my life so that it's very, palpable. So I'm doing it for all of us listening, for you, for everybody listening, and for the future listeners. So, there was a slight change to it. I listened to Ian again, and he said I got guided to do a slight little shift. So I don't know if I sent it to you, but we could always shift it. I'll send it to you again. So we're talking again about the four bodies: our mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical bodies. So we're just going to stay it right now. So as you do that, take a deep breath again and connect with your heart and just feel this in your heart and feel this with a lot of intention, because to just say the words without the and connection to them, it's empty. You're not going to get the fullness of all that you're bringing through with this affirmation. And to bring through the golden age, when we do this together, it's and with this intention fully in our heart, it just makes this so quick. We're going to shift so much quicker. So I choose for my four bodies to come into harmony with the golden age now. I now ask for my mental body, spiritual body, emotional bodies, and physical body to come back into oneness now. I now ask for all four bodies to come into harmony with my God self frequency. And that's it. So feel it. Just feel that in your heart. And I feel tingles. Ooh.
It's beautiful.
So doing that is going to enhance us and bring us all back into this, bring us into the golden age. I mean, we're in it now. We're really there. We just have to realize we're there. We feel like it's still coming, but we're here. We're creating it as we say it. And
Yes.
as we're creators of our reality, right? So
So many people say that the ascension process to the golden age, the new golden age, is going to be in 2032, if I'm correct, around there. What do you think about that? We're talking about the
I
truth,
don't think
right?
there's such a thing
So,
as a timeline. I don't think there is, because time is not that's linear thinking, it's 3D thinking. So to me, time is limitless. There is no time. Time is only in our reality of duality. Time is a circle. As multidimensional beings, we're living multidimensionally at the same time. I was listening to a quick quote or a quick little info by Dolores Cannon. And Dolores, do you know Dolores
yeah.
Cannon? She brought in the QHHT, which is to connect with your past lives and to connect with, what your purpose was, similar to a lot of, but her technique is very, very profound. So she was saying, she did a talk, she was connecting with a client. And as she connected, Nostradamus came through. And
Mm.
he said, I am not connecting with you from the past. You are not connecting with me as a future or as a dead person. I am alive right now. connecting with you from the 15th century. I am living at the same time as you are living. We're just living, in a multidimensional spiral. So I'm sending you these messages to help you understand. Like, he put out like hundreds of messages, and he wrote them in like poetic form. And we've heard of Nostradamus's. He had many, many prophecies, but he said, I'm trying to connect with you now to help you understand the prophecies that I am saying in my time, so that your time will get it quicker.
Mm.
So it was just, that gave me chills, because the idea of someone connecting with us from the 15th century, as they're living at that time, and we're living in our time. That's how time is. And it is very hard to get your head around it sometimes. I remember when I first got into spiritual work, I didn't understand that at all. I didn't know how to look at time. Now I see it as a continuous circle. It's an infinite cycle. And we're living, this is the conscious life we're in right now. That's his conscious life he's in right now. So he can consciously connect with us in our conscious life now. This is the key life for us that we're with. So that's how I see it. I mean, this is just my own interpretation, but what do you think, Vivica?
Well, I've done so many life between lives hypnotherapy sessions with both
Yeah.
clients and as a channel myself. I find that we do shift realities. Also,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how far you've come, how high the vibration, and you could actually. I've experienced alternate realities within this body, experiencing it like here and now. It's so difficult to put into words, but when I see people,
Yes.
when I guide other people, and they talk about that they're not having all their life experience here, they're still on another planet, or they're still um,
Mm-hmm.
doing stuff in the spirit world, and they can come together in that awareness and connect and understand what's going on and why this part of that life or this reality is shifting, or how they can shift it and what they can learn from the other one. So actually the past lives are still living. As long as there's energy there, there's still life. And as long as there's life, there's still things to learn. And so you can have an experience that you're placed different in different realities. But I believe, or my experience is that you'll have to accept your truth and acceptance of your soul and something greater, and lift your vibration enough to have this understanding, to have this um, experience, if you wish.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that
Yeah.
everything happens here and now, but I think for humans, we've made this timeline so it's easier for us to have something
Mm-hmm.
to wrap our minds around. But
Yeah.
I think that's just, it can be helpful because when we do regression work, we do regress and we use this timeline to step back in time to reconnect and do inner child work, to
Oh,
release
yes.
the past, to
Past life
release
work.
that
Yes.
energy, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
to become whole, or to become strong, and to integrate those parts to
Mm-hmm.
actually experience to
And
be
to
more whole.
heal. Yeah.
Yeah.
To
And
heal.
so I
Yeah.
think what you're saying, that when ascension is, that can happen like instantly for each
Yes.
individual.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
so the more people who's lighting up the planet right now, we can see that we're there.
Yeah,
Depends on,
I mean,
but
we've already reached it. I mean, and they always say we've made it, but we're going through the steps. We have to live the reality of the steps that we've gotten there,
yeah, you see
and we
what
have to
happened
do
to
it
Atlantis, the
intentionally.
Atlantis, that's a good,
Oh
description of
yeah,
what can go
Atlantis.
wrong.
Sure. Well, that's the part that we're really back. Many of us were Atlanteans, and we're back,
Yeah.
and we're really reliving the karma. We're repairing it. We're healing it. Some of us are, some of us aren't. I mean, you still see some of that playing out in the world.
Yeah.
Some of it's a repeat. If you dig into the deep dark stuff, there's a lot of repeats going on in the secret stuff that's going on in governments and things, and but in our own lives, we're all here with this huge. I mean, everyone here is here with a purpose. We're here specifically because we're meant to be here in this lifetime, because it's such a profound
I'm
lifetime.
curious, Janet, could we ask people watching if they could please write in the chat if they have the experience of a past life or experience
Yeah.
realities, just to see where we at in the ascension part? Like,
Excellent.
so if you're
Excellent. Yeah.
watching,
Yeah.
please just write your experience, your thoughts, your perceptions of, reality and your truth of your light path and where you
Yeah.
are on
Yeah.
that
What
path.
do
Yeah.
you see right now? How do you feel? Where are you at? I mean, how much do you feel you've done to, do you feel like you're moving into that golden age, or are you in the golden age? I mean, it's so interesting, listening to the gentleman who brought through the golden age, Ian Welch. He uses divining rods to judge like the percentage of a person. Like when you say the golden age affirmations, he could tell if you've only said it 50%. He goes, now you got to get into the heart more.
Mhm.
And it's just so profound that he just says, well, I know because the rods will move in a certain
Well,
way.
the thing is, not only that, you feel it if you're there.
And you can feel it as
Yeah.
long, some people have to, it takes some more practice. Not everyone feels things, not everyone hears things, sees things. I remember, in the early stages of spirituality, everyone was getting frustrated if some people could see things. Like you probably saw it all very quickly. I had a knowing very quickly, but you were hearing things. Were you hearing more? What was your
No, I
experience?
was seeing. I mean, I saw spirit
Seeing.
from I was a child, and it was scary. But then it quickly opened up to the archangels. So I
Okay.
always felt like I knew I had a divine path to walk for
Hmm.
myself, and so I had Archangel Gabriel very close to me before I recognized Zarius as part of that essence. So
Ah,
that was
interesting.
call it an intervention. It was easier for me
Mm.
to open up to the archangels. It was a concept I
Oh,
was
sure.
comfortable with as a human being. And then when Zarya stepped forward, I said, "Well, you have the same energy," or it kind of shifted a little bit. But he said, "Yeah, but we're all one. We all have,
Ah,
So it's
yes.
so it just made me think that okay, we're always protected, and as long as I have that energy around me, and I can trust in that, I feel
Yes.
very blessed. No matter if I see, hear, or feel, I know I get messages, and my as long as I'm open and I do my cleaning, clean
Yes.
myself
Yes.
and release and be pure as I can, have a clear intention, I will get the guidance needed. So I
Yes.
trust more
Yes.
in that than I actually trust my own visions sometimes because my visions comes after I'm that flow. When I'm in that flow with
Yes.
spirit,
Yes.
that's when I open up and that's how I see. So
Yeah, and
I
that's
just
so
want to say, please
interesting.
write in the chat. No
If you
wrong
have
or
any
right
comments,
questions.
please
Yeah,
write. Don't
or
be shy.
questions. Yeah.
You don't even have to say your name. Just put it
No.
in there. We won't say your name out loud if you don't want us to say it. But it's interesting because I'm very connected to Archangel Gabriel as well. And I never realized you were. So see the
Oh,
things we always
really?
find out about each other. Yes. I've always had a connection to Gabriel, and I mean, when I was young, I was in trauma. So I was blocked for a long, long time until I stepped into, well, I'm 30 years sober.
Mhm.
So when I got sober, I had a clear mind. My mind opened. I had a spiritual path opened up. That's when my spiritual work, the doors opened to that. And it was such a blessing. And I knew all along there was something I needed to do. So I was a nurse, but that was like a service to people. I knew I had to be of service to people in some very profound way. And I thought nursing was it. Nursing was never like my heart's, it wasn't a passion. I love doing it, but when I got into the spiritual work and I felt the energies and working with people with the four bodies and really seeing them shift in
Mhm.
healing work, that's when I knew I was on my firm path. And
Mhm.
then I got all the different openings like in healing school. You have someone there who's sharing?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did you see that? I was just now
No,
reading.
I
It
couldn't
says,
see it.
I'll show it to everyone so we can connect. If it's, I hope it's okay. It's nothing bad. So we'll just put
No,
it
it
right
sounds
there.
wonderful.
Hi there,
Hi
ladies.
there, ladies. Hi, Justine. So that's it?
Hello back.
Okay. All
Okay.
right, at least you said hello. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Love having somebody say hi.
Yeah.
So, but when I got into healing school, it was so interesting because I didn't realize the different things I could do. I mean, I was really blocked in so many ways. But once I got into healing school, I knew the knowing was always there. As soon as I got attuned in Reiki, like I became a Reiki master right up before I went into healing school. Then I went into healing school. And then I would sometimes see auras. It's not something I see all the time, but I could even smell. I could smell things sometimes, which I never knew that was going to be a possibility till I smelt my dad's cigar one day. And I was like, oh
Oh.
my gosh, did he pass? And
Mm.
the interesting thing was he was in the hospital. He was on the critical moment. He had to decide if he was going to pass or not. And I could smell his cigar smoke. It was the wildest thing. I'd never smelled that in my life. And then my brother called me and said, yeah, well, Dad made it through the night. We gave him his last rites, but he made it through the night. And he lived another, couple years. I mean, he was like the cat with nine lives. He had different things come up. I mean, he really did. He was an amazing man.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like horribly. I mean, he had bouts of cancer a couple times, but they were not, every time he got cancer in one place, it was not going to metastasize all over his body. It's very unusual. The doctor said it's always encapsulated where you get it. You're very blessed, they said, because he would get it one place because he smoked, and then he would get it somewhere else. And they said, well, you're very lucky where you got it. It doesn't metastasize. And I was like, how does this man do that? He just had this kind of a life. So that moment with the cigar was very profound for me. And
So when
then
I'm
just,
thinking about what you're talking about, and I'm thinking about what's our truth in that, because that was your truth.
right.
You experienced that.
Yes, it's a truth for me, which was such an eye opener
And
because I
that's
didn't
what
know that
was
was possible.
yes, I'm sorry, Janet, I cut you off.
It's okay. I didn't know it was possible when that happened. But go ahead.
So when I was a child, that was maybe the hardest part for me because my truth was so different from other children and also from my
Mhm.
parents who suddenly had this child seeing things and talking to energies and people, that they couldn't see. And so I understand that for me, having a child, with the same abilities that I was born with, seeing auras and seeing energies. And she's done that as a, she's 50, soon 15. And it's just so amazing to see that how I could meet her and how I wish my parents didn't understand, but my truth was the one thing like Gabriel and Zadius that really the divine intervention, I call it, because they stepped in so many times when I just wanted to give up and just be part of society and just do like everybody else. And of course I did do that. My truth shifted in that moment when I've told this story, but I'm going to do it short. When my teacher asked the class, "What are you going to do after high school?" and I knew because I had my vision, and Zarius has spoken to me, so I knew what was going to happen, and I never questioned it. And so I said it, and I was met with kind of, "How do you think that's going to happen? How are you going to make
Well, what
that
did you
happen?"
say? What
And
What
I
was
was
the
like, and
statement?
I asked my best friend, who's a doctor actually now, and I asked her and said, don't you see things that can happen in what's coming up in your life? And she just looked at me weird and she goes, no. And so I'm like, okay. So
Yeah,
my
yeah.
parents tried. They didn't kind of, they didn't understand me, but they didn't say that I shouldn't say stuff or shouldn't do stuff. I mean, they accepted me. I was accepted as,
That's where you're blessed because a
yeah.
lot of people get shut down from that kind of thing.
Yeah. But
A lot
that's
of
kind
people
of the
do.
truth of my journey. And it's like, I have to create my own truth because I know that my truth is completely different than anybody else's. And I
Oh,
think,
absolutely,
yeah. And then
absolutely.
understanding the greater truth, the divine truth, through the universal laws, it's kind of,
Right,
because we're
right.
getting there as soon as you're doing and you're finding your truth and you're accepting it and embracing it. That's when you
It
start
doesn't always come. Well,
shifting.
see, you were lucky. You got it very young, and as I was a young teenager, I was always saying there's something out there, but I don't know what it is. And I couldn't connect with it yet. But I knew there was something. And because of the traumatic childhood, I did not I couldn't see it yet. I was just not ready to see it, but I knew there was something calling me. So then of course I went on my own at 19 so I could live my own life and went into nursing and then did my journey, met my husband, and started living all over the world. And then after we lived all over the world, which was part of a dream, I came home and landed where we are now. We've been here 36 years, but this place literally opened all my doors. I mean, I knew I had to move to Connecticut, which is the craziest thing, but I always knew I had to be in this state. I don't know why, but it was my door opener place.
Mm.
Like there's certain places that are your blessed places on the earth. This is one of my, this is definitely mine because all the best things that could have happened to me happened here. And I'm so grateful. And and it's, it's just a little state, but
Yeah,
it's
it's your
exciting
truth.
because, and
It's your
it's my
truth.
truth.
Yeah.
So I went to my healing school here. I had my second child here. My son was born somewhere else. And then went to healing school, later in life. But I was in nursing. I did nursing here for quite a while around the area. And but when I got into healing school, that was like the bliss moment. Like, I finally made it to this amazing truth of my life that I've been searching for. And I had like minded people that I could share these outrageous thoughts. And we had two teachers that was so wonderful. And I really loved them and trusted them. And there was only 17 of us, 16 girls and one guy.
Wow.
And he loved it. Of course, he loved it. He was a great guy, very easygoing, got along with all the women very well. And it was just such a blessed moment. And that opened more doors. And then I just kept spiraling out into my holistic work, which is healing work. And then, I just kept traveling down the road and I kept following it like you. Now I did have a lot of doubt in the beginning when I first had my healing moments, and I had so many miracles start happening, and I thought, is this really real?
I
So it
wanna,
was a touch and go for a while.
yeah,
Somebody in there wants to share?
yeah, I want to know. I just want to address the people's watching now that I want them to maybe if you would like to share your aha moment when you
Yeah.
acknowledge the spiritual part of you, your age, what was your
It's kind of
truth
like
in that
you're
matter?
waking
That would
up.
be
When did you?
lovely. So, well, let's give them that a shot. See if somebody wants to share that. I mean, that's exciting to learn, to learn more about how people open up and how they
Yeah, I
find their
mean,
truth, they find their path in life. What needed to happen for you, or did you just wake up one day and you suddenly found, your vision, or did you have
you
to
saw
find,
things
yeah,
differently. You saw
yeah.
things differently, and you knew that what you were doing wasn't your heart's desire.
Mm,
So, did you wake up with the new thinking, like, oh no, this is not the life I planned? When was that? When did you see that? I mean, I remember seeing it in my 40s. I was just 39 when I saw that. And I knew I had to go a different path. That was starting on my journey of sobriety and also then my spiritual path. It was just miraculous, and I'm so blessed. And I have nothing but gratitude because we going through these things to help other people, whatever our journey is. Sometimes you have trauma and sometimes you don't. And, everyone has their path and we're meant to bring through what we're meant to bring through. But yeah, I hope somebody shares. So
uh,
so I wanted should we wait a minute or do you want me to talk about the sun in Virgo?
we can do
Any
that.
other
Well,
thoughts?
and if there's writing, then please just keep on writing and you share.
Sure, right. And we'll talk about it. So, I pulled the card last night because I was thinking about what is ascension. And I was in so much joy because, I was on vacation. I got to see my beautiful grandsons. One is just turned 3, and my other one is 10 months as of 2 days ago. And I spent some time with them, and it was just so wonderful. And again, my 3-year-old grandson said to me, Grandma, I love you. He came right up to me and said that out of the blue. And, my heart melts. My heart just melted. And I'm like, thank you, God, for giving me these beautiful beings of light. I mean, they bring you so much light. These beautiful, pure heart children. They are just so gorgeous. And, we have our own children and then they grow up. But then when you see these it's just like a different world. It's so, plus you don't have to take care of them as much. So it's a lot nicer. I love the both ways of that. So, and as I was thinking that, I pulled this card from a deck which is called Morning Messages, which I haven't read from. And this one said joy. It's
Ah,
all about joy. And the artist is a woman named Peggy Black. And she's a scribe and a witness. Whoops, sorry.
other
Well, I'll
way.
get that right. So these are her stick figures, and these are like the beings that come through. So it says joy is a state of mind. It is a vibration unlike any other. Joy is an emotional sense of being, simply that. Humans have been programmed that there must be a reason to be joyful, and the reasons are often fleeting and brief. And the reasons and the concept of constantly radiating joy is a bit difficult for some to imagine, especially when you have so much to worry about. And they put worry in quotations, like we these are our things that we bring on. We invite you to sense and welcome joy. Let yourself examine the feeling of joy. When are you filled with joy? What are the conditions or situations? Practice the awareness of joy, being in the vibration, the feeling, and the emotion of joy. When you hold a joy vibration instead of fear or worry, you are in a position of powerful creating. You are open and receptive to your blessings. Joy. And I was in so much joy when I picked that card because I was thinking of my grandsons, and I said, oh, "Wow, I have to share this tomorrow with the group because we do feel like we have to work for joy. Like it's like we have
No,
to work for this.
it is just, when you
It's a
open your
very
heart
simple
and
state. Yeah,
you're just being the
exactly,
acceptance of who you are,
exactly.
you're accepting your truth. You allow yourself to be joyful and grateful. And it's something you have to allow. And that's something we need to learn as human beings, to
Yeah,
choose the love instead of the fear and allow the joy. And you know what I started doing, Janet? I
what?
actually started after my meditations. I have a little bit longer meditations these days because I'm working through issues and I want to ascend and start, working in a different, yeah, I've been called to work on a different way. So I need more energy on that and more information on that. And so after I've done my meditation, I dance. I
Oh
start my
yeah,
day, I put on my headphones, I have these big headphones, I put on some music, and I
that's
dance. I
great.
do that
That's great.
every day, every
I
single
think
day.
that's
And I'm just
fabulous.
so filled with joy and
Yes,
happiness. And
yes.
and that's when I can sit down and start working.
You know, I used to do that all the time. I used to dance to music. I would put on records just to go in the room and feel good. And I would dance around all my life as a young teenager, even as a young child. My mother bought me a little uh, record player with like the 45s. You're probably too young for that, but 45s had the little records and they had a little big hole in it. And you put a whole stack of them on this record player and they just drop and play one after the other. And she got me all Broadway show songs. And so I was probably like 4, 5, 6 to 8, 7, 8, sitting in the floor in my hallway, listening to the songs and singing with the songs. And
Mm.
then when I went to kindergarten, I started to dance. Like we did like dancing. And so my teacher said to my mother, she needs to go to dancing school because I was always twirling and all that kind of thing. And so I love dancing like you do. Now I haven't danced as much as you are now. I guess I have to bring it back in. I love that reminder
And
because
move
I
your
used to just
physical
put on
body.
music and dance all the
Yeah,
time.
we
Dancing.
need
And my
it.
husband and I went to a wedding. We did dance, which was so fun about 2 weeks ago. I haven't danced in so long, so it was really nice to dance again.
Okay,
So,
so before we wrap up, Janet, I just want to say one thing that we'll have a special episode where we dive into ascension in more detail.
yes,
So
that's right.
today we
Yeah.
touched on, the truth and a
What
little bit
is
of
our
ascension.
truth?
Yeah,
Yes,
because it is what opens up for the ascension. So we need
exactly.
to be truthful and authentic and transparent about who we are to be able to rise. So we
Yeah.
thought that would be great just to have a short little discussion and share
Yes.
with,
So
yeah.
yeah, and thank you for saying that because I said I put out my my social media that it was going to be on ascension, and I had originally said truth, and then so it's a prelude to this ascension. So I just read this Sun in Virgo, which I think people would like to hear. This is what we're going through right now. It's from
Yes.
August 23rd to September 23rd. So it's really a powerful moment. And this season promises to be one of activations and transformation. Now we hear it a lot, but the way things are going right now, manifestation has been instantaneous. I mean, we've been feeling so much, and we're going to talk about ascension symptoms and what we think ascension is. I mean, there's so many versions of what people talk about it. it'll be an interesting, very interesting topic. So Virgo is a finely tuned feminine frequency. And through its energy, we also connect with its opposite in Pisces. So Virgo and Pisces are opposite. And the intuitive channel, Pisces is the intuitive channel, which allows discernment at the highest levels. So Virgo season, which is what we're coming up to, that's September, is an opportunity to purify and cleanse all debris so the path is unencumbered by eliminating aspects of our behaviors and habits which no longer serve us. Now, you might have heard it before, but this is what we have to do to get ready for ascension. We can't take these old hanging on things with us. It's not coming. It's just not part of the new energy, the new earth, the fifth dimensional energy. So Virgo is the ultimate healer and uses the divine channel, who is the Piscean, they're the opposites for such. So remain open to the inner being guiding you through what is dissolving. This season will finesse your path as you move forward, but expect a massive alchemical process of magic and manifestation. So to me, oh my gosh, is that exciting or what? And
Yes, it is.
and I sat in energy last night. I sat in a meditation because I was connecting. I just took some time to connect last night, which it's been a while. I don't always slow down, but oh my gosh, the energy coming through me was so intense. My arms were lit up. It was all in my hands and my arms, and it was slowly moving in through my whole body. And
Mm,
I said, what is this? What is this coming from? And so I got it was my higher self energy
mm,
coming in, more aspects of our higher self. And I keep hearing people talk about it. I'm like, well, I don't know if I've connected to, I mean, you have your higher self, but I haven't felt that physical connection like that. It
mm.
was very, I mean, my hands were on, like they were just all lit up. My arms, they were just so full of energy. And I just allowed it to just start spreading through me. And it was so intense in my arms. Then went into my body some. It was getting lighter as it went down the body, but it was absolutely unbelievable energy. I sat with that half an hour. It was the most beautiful feeling. And all I could feel was this golden light energy coming over me and filling us up. And this is what we're all getting. So when we take this time to connect with it, then you embody it. You
Mm.
bring it into your reality, you ground it into yourself and into the earth. So these moments that we take to connect like this are so profound. And, to
Remember
me, I
to make
didn't know.
time. Make time.
Yeah,
Do
we
not
have to
run
make
too
the
fast.
time.
You're not going to ascend running your errands or
Right.
doing
To
this or
do the
watching
human
Netflix
doing.
or don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take time to be with
Exactly.
yourself.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
and I know I'm going to let you end, but I have one more card I pulled from Peggy Black's deck, and this is called "Call It Forward." So after we just talked about what we are, the creators, you are a transformer, pure and simple. You have tools and master keys of energetic alchemy, the awesome ability to transform your reality from dysfunction to empowerment. You are the cutting edge of awareness in physical form. You are riding the energy wave of transformation, catching the wind of change in your sail, running the rapids as you envision the most delicious possibilities. The gift of each new day is put aside as you pick up the remains of yesterday. Strive to awaken from imposed slumber.
Mm.
When doubts arise, transform the emotional mental dysfunction of feeling powerless. This transmuting of energy is an hourly, daily, and lifetime process. Play with joy and abandon. Play with wonder and skill. Dance. Weave the energy fields with gratitude and appreciation. Imagine the very best results. Call it forward. Call it forward. Oh my gosh.
That was
Wasn't does that
beautiful. And I want to share something then because
yeah.
we just got this. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Do you
Thank
see
you.
it? So,
Yeah.
thank you, Yanna. Thank you for showing up, even though you're a
Thank
little
you,
late,
Yana.
like you said. But this is kind of what we're calling it forward. We're calling forward love. And we
That's
want to
great.
choose it and we want to show up for ourselves. We want to spend time with people who are heart-centered, who are willing to do the work, to ascend, to let's join and do this together. That's the
Exactly.
power. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Janet, as always, for you to be.
Thank you, Vivica, for everything that you share and bring to me and to all of the listeners. I think that when we share like we have been, it's just so powerful, and we give to each other. The listeners give to us, and we give to them, and we give to each other. So it's a gift of community. Yeah,
Definitely. So I think we'll leave it at that today. We'll just, should we close and say thank you?
sure. Yeah.
Okay. So you want to do that, Janet?
Sure. I'm
Mhm.
going to thank you, all the beings of light who have been here with us today, and to help us bring through these heart-centered truths that we feel and don't always take the time to verbalize and to recognize. So we are so grateful for all that we shared today, and hope that we have been of service to all of the listeners, and to each other and for ourselves as well. We are here to move forward, to pay it forward, and to move into this ascension energy of the higher consciousness and the new earth energy in the golden age. So we are so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We cut the cord, send them back with love. And we're so grateful for all of you who are here. And it is done. It is done. It is done.
Thank you. And remember to dance when I put on the final music.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
and dance.
You going to put
See
on
you
some
next
music?
week. Yeah.
All right.
Bye.